loved the idea so much, and I loved what she did with Ray and Julie so much, and at the same time gives this new cast the helm.
Mhm.
And but we're not cameos. I don't want anyone to think that. Like Ray and Julie are major driving forces in this movie, and you somehow get time for the other people as well.
Right.
Like she just
So
did.
you reunited with Jennifer Love Hewitt, obviously, as final boy Ray and final girl Julie. Can you talk
Right.
a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. First off, like they didn't even have those terms when we were those people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it just like adjusting to that is completely different. But uh, this was such a fun movie to make. And the main reason for me was Jennifer Robinson, the director and co-writer, and Sam Lansky, the main writer, put so much thought and care into what happened to Julie and Ray.
Mhm.
And the movie, their story talks a lot about trauma and how the same trauma can affect two people in very, very different ways, if it's not dealt with properly. And I remember when they were first talking about this movie, like I was really hesitant to even be involved. I didn't know the studios have changed so much since I made a studio movie. I just didn't know. And I happened to be friends with Jennifer Robinson, the director. And she said, "Listen, I've been working on this for a while. Let me just tell you where they're at, Julie and Ray, that is. And if you like it, I'll pitch you the movie. And if you don't, whatever, we have breakfast and who cares?" And I really respect Jen a lot. So I was like, yeah, let's go have breakfast. She hits me up with where they're at, which was kind of that trauma thing I was talking about. And I was like, yeah, let me hear this movie. And I loved the idea so much. And I loved what she did with Ray and Julie so much. And at the same time, gives this new cast the helm.
Mhm.
But we're not cameos. I don't want anyone to think that. Like Ray and Julie are major driving forces in this movie, and you somehow get time for the other people as well. Like she just did an amazing job. Her vision of this world, which she kind of had to recreate, taking from the first two movies, is so spot on from the original vision that she pitched me. And that never happens. Like to be able to circumnavigate the studio system and producers and all these notes that are coming in and still maintain your vision is very rare and super hard to do. And she did it. And I'm so friggin' proud of this movie. And it's like the scenes with Love and I, the first scene you see on camera, I think is the best scene that Love and I have done together on camera in any of the movies. And the last scene that we have together is my second favorite scene that we've ever done in any of the. So I'm really pleased with the way it came out and really proud to show people what we can do.
I love that. And that's a great call out because I honestly went in kind of expecting a cameo, maybe slightly more than a cameo, but that's not what this is. This is like
No.
full on, you guys are full-fledged characters in this plot. Like you're invested in this story. Let's
Yeah,
talk about that ensemble
but
cast a little bit because it's a
please.
reunion, but it's much more than a reunion because we meet all of these great new characters. Can you kind of talk about working with these new actors?
Yeah, so if anybody saw Do Revenge on Netflix, Jennifer Robinson can cast a movie better than just about anyone out there. And this cast is so good and everyone's so perfect. And when she wants you, she fights for you. And she got who she wanted in this movie. And all the act, like I'm 49 now. It's not hard for me to say like I didn't love all the work I did when I was younger. I wasn't as good as I am now. When I did the first I Know You Did Last Summer, I was 20 years old, just turning 21. I had no experience, maybe a movie and a half under my belt, and was literally learning on the job. I was the least experienced of all the other actors in the movie. They were all child actors except me, including Johnny Galecki. And it was very difficult for me to keep up. I had actors that were there for me and really good for me that I leaned on and they helped me, but it was a challenge to keep up. My talent grew as I grew, right? And I took pride in myself that I was always a better actor at the end of a movie than at the beginning, but it took me some time. When I saw this cast, and they're a little older than I was, but still young, the level at which they would execute these scenes. I would go and watch scenes that I wasn't even in because they were so good. And then, like off camera, I would see them, and the camaraderie was so tight. Like they really leaned on each other and depended on each other. And outside of I Know You Did Last Summer, where I had some of that with Ryan, I would kind of lean on him a little bit when I had a tough day on set. They all had that naturally, and my generation was more competitive. And it was because there weren't as many movies getting made. There were only a few studios making 15 movies a year. Now there's all these channels and all this other stuff, and people are making movies 365 days a year. So it was really competitive, and I was almost surprised and shocked how kind they were to one another. And they were shocked that it wasn't like that back in the day. And it was just my experience. You might talk to someone else like, no, it was great. But in my experience, there was a lot more competition and it was more cutthroat. So their level of maturity and their skill level was just so high. And I was impressed by them every single day. Sarah was like the first one I got cool with, Sarah Pigeon. And she became like, we became tight pretty quick. And then Chase was the second one. She asked a lot of questions about like the old days, right? Like about the old days. And then Maddie was this enigma because I didn't know anyone in the cast. I had to get to research everybody when I would see people get cast and look at their work and things like that. And my daughter goes, "Wait, you guys cast Maddie?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Dad, she's on Outer Banks." And I go, "Well, what's Outer Banks?" And she goes, "You're watching." And I watched and she was good, but I didn't know how good. And we had a scene on set. It was my first day on set, and she had to maintain a certain emotional level for the context of the scene or for the rules of this scene for 12 hours. And she did it with such elegance and such grace and no, I mean, she's young, so she doesn't get tired. I would get exhausted after three takes. I'll be like, we don't have it. What are we doing? But she was just so powerful. I called my daughter and I was like, yeah, you were right. She's the shit. Or excuse my language, she's the truth. And even though I didn't say truth, I said the
She's the
truth.
shit. It's fine. Yeah, she is the
Yeah,
shit.
well, that's what I
Whatever.
said.
Yeah.
And my daughter goes, I tried to tell you. And I was just completely blown away by everybody's work. But yeah, they were all so cool. And I'm still friendly with them all. Like we all talk. I love Gabriette. I love that she smokes, even though no one should smoke. It's really bad for you. She just looks so cool. It's like Humphrey Bogart cool. Like everything about the cast is cooler than I was when I was 21. And I just love them. I fell in love with all of them.
That's what I always think when I see like these young actors, and I'm like, they are infinitely cooler than I ever was. Like even
Oh
when
yeah.
they're like 20, 21, I'm like, I was not, I will never be at that level, but I was not at that level when I was 20 years old, not even close.
Yeah.